What's up, guys? Here at Coach Jim Johnson, Contractor Coach Pro, legendary in the roofing and contracting industry. And we're just talking about events like this and really the industry in general. We had a nice dinner last night, and we're just talking about one of the challenges with any entrepreneurial business, any business really, is like, how do I put the right pieces in the right place, in the right order? Just want to kind of get Jim's perspective on that.
Well, first off, you said legendary, and I think that's just a nice way of saying old. Like old and consistent, right? So we come to these events, and you meet a bunch of contractors. They're talking to you about their struggles. And that's a big thing for us, is much like whenever you're out selling in the home, we're trying to solve problems. That's what we're trying to do. And we start to see this repetitive thing. I really started to notice it over the first 3 years of being in business, that most contractors are after what we call the candy. They want the candy. Like, if I put something out there that's marketing, get more leads, man, I'm going to get a lot of eyes on me.
Right.
Or increase your sales and increase your profits. That's going to get a lot of eyes on me. Recruit the superstar sales guys. That's going to get a lot of eyes on me. Mm-hmm. But if I say something like, build your processes and systems.
Boring.
Hey, you really need to get your HR in place. Those things are not as interesting because they're kind of the hard work, the dirty work, the foundational work that you got to do. But the thing I think that a lot of them struggle with is timing. When do you do the thing, right? And so that was a bit of our epiphany, is that there's actually a structure to that that goes in an order, with operational being the things that most people focus on: marketing, sales, recruiting, that kind of stuff, production, where foundational, leadership, culture, process, HR, finance, those kinds of things, they didn't focus on it. But there was an actual order. Like, I'll give you a great example. I want to grow a $100 million business. That's what we all the time, right? I want to grow a $100 million business.
Change the industry, yes.
This sounds fantastic. What's the first thing you want? Well, I need to hire some people. I need to hire a bunch of people. Sounds wonderful. How are you going to train them? Well, I'm going to put them with my experienced guys.
See the ride along, right?
Yeah. Well, it's going to take forever. How do we put it into a system? How do we measure where it's working for them or not? Is it something they can do a lot of it online so that you come back and test how well they're doing it? Are we reinforcing it, making sure they're great? And if you just do a little observation, like just a little bit of observation, who's the $100 million plus contractors? You look at the best example to me, Power Home Remodeling. $1.7 billion, I think they did last year.
But they probably know a thing or two.
What do they do more than anything else?
Recruit, hire, train.
They train every single day. So why don't you just observe what others are doing and do something similar? But I tell you this, they didn't scale their business up until they got the training in place first. This is how we're going to train. It's how long it's going to take. These are the metrics we expect. And so looking at your business that way, where's the pinch point? And if you think it's getting leads, you have to ask yourself, well, is it getting leads? Or is it our ability to close?
Right.
Or if it's our ability to get leads, and are they aligned with our brand? And it's a mixed message.
Right.
And so our culture isn't right. Our marketing isn't right. Like, there's this disconnect, and not knowing that sequence will blow you up. So that's why I wrote the book.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Contractor's Blueprint.
Fantastic.
Yeah, might as well show it to everyone.
Yeah, we're going to get a little FaceTime for it.
I love
Contractor's Blueprint right there. And that's the whole story about when and where to do what you need to do at the right time. Because when you do come to a conference like this, you got folks like Acculinks over here, wonderful software. They do great work and everything. But is it the right time for me to take on implementing a CRM right now?
Right.
And have I done all the background processes and systems to say, is that the right CRM to fix my problem? We just kind of get sold on the idea I should have a CRM without really investigating, does it fit the needs for my particular business? No offense against you marketers, I want to get a bunch more leads. Like, you get that message.
Right.
But I wonder if the marketers go, can you sell them if we get them?
Yeah.
Because if you don't ask that question and you get them a bunch of leads, then what?
Well, we used to be that marketing agency where we did the work for our clients. And that was a big, big challenge, right? We weren't perfect, but we did our best. But it takes everyone collaborating to make that work. So that's why we're focused on education as well.
That's why I love what you guys do, because you teach them how to market themselves. And you also educate them on, hey, you're going to get leads. Can you close them?
Right.
Like, do you have a sales process? It's good. You've trained on it. Your guys are great at it. And most people don't ask themselves that question first.
Right. Yeah, we don't go that far as the sales training. We'll leave it up to guys like you, but like the lead handling system, your follow-up, your nurture, the text messaging, your emails, your systems for that, tracking, your scorecards.
Right.
Yeah, those are all things that are, I think what I see anyway is a lot of companies will start out, they'll get to that, you know, a couple $1,000,000 a year, just hustle and sales. And then they're like, oh, wow, this is not sustainable. Like I need systems, right? I think a lot of people don't start out with systems, whereas they probably should.
At least a base format for
it.
Like just get really simple. Say, hey, these are my milestones. I got this, this, and this. And that first guy, because that's usually what it is, a guy or two, maybe a wife, a friend is helping with books, that kind of thing. They're not documenting anything.
Right.
It's just do it all the time because of experience. Yeah. That's how they got into it. And so they didn't document anything. Because they didn't document anything, they try to onboard somebody and they just say, hey, learn from me.
Yes.
It takes forever and they lose them because they're not making money yet.
Yep.
And they're asking themselves why. Nobody's loyal. Everybody's lazy. They don't want to do any work. No, you put the stuff together to help them be successful.
Yes.
So if you would spend the time before you decide to scale to get those processes and systems in place.
Right.
And you're going to have to schedule it. If you've gone that road to get to 2 million, you're going, hey, I'm going to scale.
Yeah.
All right, time out. Where am I going to put in an hour a day, every day to work on my processes and systems so that when I do go higher, it's going to be magic?
Yeah. So I experienced that last year, hired 2 people for key positions. And we had the first time we'd ever hired for those positions. And we didn't have the processes to help them be successful.
Right.
And neither of them is with us right now. You know, one left and then one we let go, but we just didn't set them up for success. So like this year, we're hiring for those same positions again. Well, we have like a 30, 60, 90 onboarding, training, like we're good. And it's not reliant on me.
I love the way you put that. You didn't set them up for success.
Yeah.
And the mistake a lot of people make is they're not thinking that way of setting them up for success. They're saying, I'm hiring them to set me up for success.
Oh, yeah, true.
Yeah, it's like, solve some problems for me, get all the issues off so I can go do more. And we didn't give them the ability to do what they do well.
Right.
That's a great way of putting it.
Well, one of our core values is extreme ownership. So I'm always looking at like, all right, what could I have done better? And then you try to put yourself in that person's shoes. And it's just like, it's not a surprise why it didn't work out.
That's a high five. That's a high five. What could I do better? I think every leader is asking that all the time.
And these things may not be, like you said, like the candy, right? Systems, processes, but they create freedom. They create freedom for the owner to be able to elevate into that leader that we need to be to get to where we want to go. Otherwise, we're just going to be, we're the bottleneck for everything.
I call us Google of all things contracting. And you are simply a search away. A text message. Hey, what do I do here?
Right.
What do I do there? And you're constantly responding back and getting nothing done. Where if you just get it all documented, they have a resource to go to.
Right.
Takes care of 80% of the questions, giving you 80% more of your time back to actually work on it instead of it.
Love it. I challenged we had a workshop last week. I challenged the group to like start turning their phone off and ignoring their team for hours, at a time, just to see what happens. Like people magically figure things out when you're not answering questions for them.
Yeah, I love that one. My team knows not to bother me for the first 3 hours of the day.
Cool.
From 9 to noon, leave me alone. And I have all my messages turned off. I have all my notifications turned off. Because I'm working. I'm getting content built, training done, getting all of my stuff to grow my business where it needs to be. And then I can go do my work in the afternoon. Stuff, everybody can fit that, but that's the schedule I created for me. When is your schedule? Like when do you put your schedule together to say, these are the times where I'm most optimized to do that? Is it the morning? Is it really early? Is it late? Is it on a Saturday? Is it Friday afternoon? You got to figure out when that is, schedule that time to work on it and get all the stuff in place so you can scale it.
I'm the same way. I don't have any calls or meetings before noon. And someone actually just scheduled one for next Tuesday at 11 a.m. And I was like, oh, but I'm traveling a lot, so it's fine. It's an internal meeting, but I'm the same way. Yeah, otherwise you don't get anything done.
Yeah, I hate those. The 11 o'clock ones. You're like, oh, I got to budge that one in there because they really need the help.
Yeah.
And sometimes you got to make a decision.
Right.
Sure, but you got to, if you aren't mindful enough or self-aware enough to know the sacrifice that is, you'll never get out from that hamster wheel, that catch-22 of being locked into your business.
Right.
A one-off, okay, I'll make that. And I'm not going to now add it to my schedule that I'm going to meet at 11 o'clock on those days anymore.
Well, thanks for sharing. That is very insightful. Yeah. Anything else you want to add?
Hey, guys, If you're trying to figure out how to get control of your marketing, you're tired of giving up control to everybody else. You've got a third party doing it. You got this person, an agency, somebody that you may have hired that is supposedly a marketing guru. You're probably finding out that those things aren't working real great. This is your guy. Contractor Dynamics helps you guys get your marketing person aligned with your systems, your process, your tools, tracks and optimizes those leads to give you the best possible quality for that great sales process I hope you've built to close those deals. So they do great work. Look them up.